Hello and welcome to an orientation call for Become a Visionary, a 2-week immersive experience with me, Maggie, an embodiment coach. For those of you that don't know me, you'll get to know me throughout this little call, and I want to drop you in into the structure of this container, into why I'm doing this in such a format, and why I believe this is important part, important foundation for any journey that you're embarking on, any new chapter, any pivot, any up level. It is a framework that will actually help you tap into the energy of embodiment and empowerment when you are going after the things that are out of your comfort zone, basically. So, today's agenda, I will briefly talk about why a visionary and body alchemy. Those are two things that are foundations of my coaching. And I will explain briefly why that is or how that came to be for me. What is pretty much the structure. I want you to know exactly what you're getting yourself into so that you can plan ahead, so that you don't need to stress about what's going to happen, how much time I need to prep and whatnot. We're going to take that decision fatigue away by explaining this already on this call. And last but not least, I will talk about a little bit of tips or rules that we all going to be following when doing this challenge, because I am going to be doing this challenge with you as well, because I am actually initiating myself into a new level of visibility, and I'm going to be walking myself through those steps as well, because they work for me over and over. That's how I came up with this framework that actually doesn't need reinventing every time you do something new. You can just follow similar steps. So before we get into the story, I want you to tap into how you're feeling right now at the beginning of this call, at the beginning of this journey, at the maybe, how is your mind? How is your body? Are you feeling excited? Are you feeling scared? Are you feeling that it's not going to work for you? What are you feeling? What are you thinking? I'll just give you like a few seconds to tap into that. The reason I want you to ask yourself this question is because I want you to start tracking how you're feeling, how you like observing yourself at any given time. But especially when you do things that are out of your comfort zone or out of your usual things that you do. Because the more data you can gather about yourself, the higher your self-awareness, the better you can prepare yourself, the better you can show up for yourself because you know what's going on. So, little bit about me, because that really is why I do what I do and why I do the things the way I do them. It's this process, everything I'm going to share in this container is very specific and unique to me. And it all was birthed through my own journey, my healing journey, my transformation journey, my embodiment journey. Call it as you wish. So, let's start with, for example, 10 years ago, I moved to Australia and I was working as a project manager at the time, and Muay Thai was a big part of my life. So I was very fit. I was already disciplined. I was good with structure. I was good with commitment. This actually has always been a strong part of my life. That was always coming easily to me. I would even get compliments in the gym from guys twice my size. How do you train so well? And how do you show up when you're tired? Like, this was one of those things that I was like, how is this not easy to you? Later down the line, I would realize that this is my gift. Even a gift that I would squash at times because it made other people uncomfortable. Other people wanted to be committed easily and they weren't. So I want you to think, as I'm speaking about anything, I want you to pay attention where your mind is going and what is showing up in your own memory, because it might be important. So this was me before. Seemingly really good life, doing well, well-paid job, chasing a dream. I really thought I'm dreaming big, I had the Muay Thai title and whatnot. But during that time, weird things started happening. And that was the first time my body was communicating with me, except I wasn't really sure what it is saying. In a ring, there's few fights. I'm only going to give you one example that I was in a ring and I couldn't do what I wanted to do. There was a one moment specifically that I remember that I was ready to knock someone out, a fighter's dream, right? And especially a girl of my size. But my body froze. I was not ready. So I'll tell you how I figured this out later. I was basically not ready for the spotlight. Yes, I was already in the ring. Yes, the lights was already on me, but really I was still the underdog. I was still more probably focused on I'm probably going to lose rather than give me all the glory. If you like me, you might have a bigger problem with fear of success than you do with fear of failure, but we'll get to that in due time. So that was the first time in those fights that my body was just acting weird. And I realized that actually I am not in charge of my body. Like, how weird. Why is this happening? But then I forgot about it. I went to training. I completely ignored any other signals and life went on until over here in 2021, my ACL snapped. And that was the life before and after for me. There was this huge, painful, very painful moment, but a very eye-opening moment where I was like, oh, it literally almost in an instant became absolutely clear what I'm running away from, what traumas I need to sort out, what emotions I haven't gone through. Like it's just appeared out of nowhere, right? And I had a decision to make. And that decision at the time was actually easier to make than if I was comfortable because the reality of staying in this life that I thought I love was painfully terrifying with the inability to walk because now I've injured my leg. I can't walk, I can't run, I can't move, I can't do everything that I love, I can't do it. So I needed a vision. I needed a project. I needed something to look forward to be like, whew, to basically focus. Because here was so much that if I didn't have a little North Star out there, something to hope for, then I don't think I could stay in here. So this is a drastic example, but a lot of us change our ways that way. A lot of us wait for this moment where it is so bad that we just cannot bloody do things differently. Like we cannot stay the way we are. We need to do this differently, right? I don't want you to wait for that moment. I don't want you to have so many things at once that you just need to change because you can make this decision at any point. So I'm passionate about helping people create their most empowered vision so they can live to their potential. What does that mean to me? I just want you to have a fucking great life because we only have one. And a lot of us, especially millennials or earlier, we have been programmed to believe a lot of things that are lies, that are not true, that are not really our true essence. So we need to unlearn this. There's a certain journey that we need to embark on, all of us, in order to uncover who we truly are at our core. And once we do that, then we know what we can do, what we can bring into the world. How are we going to be happy? All of that is uncovered when you focus on yourself, on bettering yourself. Not the external world. Here. Okay. So, why do I speak of that? Why vision and body alchemy? And I wanted to bring you this story because this is super unique to me. You will see as I'm coaching that no one else could have come up with this framework or explain it the way I do because it is infused with me, with my codes, with my wisdom, with my lived experience. I have learned from it, so I will teach you it through what I've learned. And this is always much bigger impact than someone learning from the books and just copy pasting the knowledge for you because you do not need more information, you need more encouragement to search within. You need more encouragement to find your unique gifts, to start seeing yourself as a category of one, your unique skill set, your unique set of experiences, your unique passions. They all combine together and they lead to you being a leader of some sort. Whether you believe in New Earth or not, you can impact the world. This is what I strongly believe. This is what my journey has led me to believe, that actually every single thing that has happened in my life had served a purpose. And now I can create something beautiful. Not everything that happened to me will become a coaching offer. It can become art. It can become an expression. It can be alchemized into something beautiful. This is the right that we have. This is the power that we have. And I personally believe the world is going to be a much better place when we are tapped into our uniqueness, when we see ourselves as limitless beings that we are, when we are in service of others and where we are empowered ourselves, because that will ripple into the world and we will empower others. And the world just fucking looks much better when we all do that. And we don't focus on comparison, judgment, and all that icky stuff that you might even be feeling in your body that you don't really like that anymore. Body alchemy, I forgot to mention in that story with after my surgery. So that has found me as well. Just a very little quick story here so that you understand, and maybe you have an objection. Maybe you want to tell me that you're not fit enough, or you don't like dancing, or you don't like moving your body, or whatever it is that shows up here when I say, are you a body alchemist? Can you do that? What's the first thing that comes to your mind? A lot of people would say it's not for them. So let me tell you what it actually is before you're going to dismiss it. How about we're going to do that first? Pardon my bluntness. I started doing body alchemy when I couldn't walk. So really already the argument number one, that you can't move or you have too much weight to lose and whatnot, is not really valid here, because you can do it sitting. You can do it however you want. It's a movement of the body. It doesn't need to be with the full body. If you have an injury, you can work around it. But so when I was after the surgery and everything was popping up, there was just too much unprocessed stuff that just literally came up to here and I couldn't hold it anymore, which is also probably why my knee gave in, because I was holding too much inside my body. This vessel, this body of yours will only hold, there's a limit on how much it's going to hold. So this is a little disclaimer for life. You're either going to wait until it breaks, or you're going to start listening and communicating with it and taking care of it instead of taking it for granted. Trust me, I've been dealing with pain for the last 5 years because of my actions prior, so I know what I'm talking about. And you don't want to be in this position that you have no other choice but start listening. But apart from the expression, when you connect with your body, this is your biggest ally. This is your best fucking friend that we've forgotten about. There is a connection, there is a divine, there's a coherence that waits to be discovered between your heart and your mind. Right now, what you're doing, I'm guessing, if you're procrastinating, overthinking, not putting yourself out there, not stretching your comfort zone, not asking for more, not having a vision, not setting boundaries, it's because the mind is louder than the heart. And you can't hear the heart. Or you hear the heart, but the mind's going to overshout it, overpower it, and you're still going to push away what the heart says, what the soul wants, and you're going to convince yourself that it's not the right time, you can't do it, it's never going to be, this is never going to change until you bring in the body and start communicating and start showing yourself that you are here for yourself, because you know what's been happening in your life thus far when you say yes, when you wanted to say no, when you didn't speak your truth, you have been abandoning yourself and your needs. And that now needs repair. We all need to do a little bit of repair work with ourselves. It's not about pointing fingers at others, it's about going within. And when you go within and when you do that with the body, there's many tools that you can do it. I'm talking about body alchemy because that's what we're going to be doing in this container. You are connecting. It's like this channel of communication with your higher self, with source, with God, call it what you want, with your ancestors, because you silence the mind, because the movement brings harmony. The movement brings alchemy because what are the unprocessed emotions? They are stuck. And that's why your shoulder will hurt. And that's why something hurts here. But once you start to get comfortable with just doing some movements that you have no idea why you're doing them and what are they doing, but oh my God, I feel so much freer already. The confidence, the energy shift appears out of nowhere, not out of nowhere, out of your movement, out of your alchemy, out of your own power. This is not woo woo. This is not just me. This is accessible to everyone. And this is why I'm here with this offer to teach you, to guide you to your own beautiful connection. Once you get that foundation, oh my God, the world is your fucking oyster. And I want that for you. Not to mention, you regulate your nervous system. But you've heard enough podcasts about that, so I won't go there. So, how do you feel now about becoming a visionary, about moving your body a little bit? How do you feel about those excuses that maybe you had a few minutes ago about showing up for yourself, about having the time, about making this journey so hard when you don't even know what it is? Has there been any shifts? Has there been any, have you been tracking? Have you been observing? Have you been looking within? Don't worry, if not yet, we'll be practicing it. So I want you to hear about the structure, and I want you to first and foremost, there's one thing that you're going to remember about this is that it is not a course. There will be modules, but this is an experience. This is an immersive experience, which means I want you to participate. I want you to do the task, pardon me. I want you to really be in the energy. We will be creating the energy together. So the more of us, the merrier. But even if there's two of us, still we can create because that energy just amplifies when we in groups, when we do things collectively. So spread the word. Invite your friends. Come and let's have fun together. See how it ripples. Or even if you do this with me, and then maybe you'll start noticing how people in your life are being affected by you differently because you walk different, you move different, your voice sounds different, you're more confident all of a sudden, you speak your truth, you have dreams. Oh my God, who is he? Who is she? What has happened? 2 weeks of this course, 2 weeks of this experience has happened. There will be two portals, and you can access them both on a phone. There is a course portal and there is a community portal. Community portal is super, 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 super important for hyping, for accountability, for shares, for living this together. I am in Australia. You can be anywhere in the world. Imagine you can be anywhere in the world, wherever it doesn't matter. Stop even thinking about the excuse. Oh, can I join? There's only one other life goal that you can watch a replay. Everything else happens on our phones, which you already connect with others all over the world. Let's do this globally. Let's excite the whole world about body alchemy because if we do that, I have this vision already, then it's just crazy how much of positive ripple effect we can bring just with our expression, just with us following what serves us, but then it actually serves the collective as well. The structure is so simple that you're not going to have any issues following it. Every module that starts dropping on Monday, 13th of July, not now, the call is now already recorded, you're watching it, but we are kicking off on Monday, 13th of July. Might be Sunday for you if you're in a different time zone. Audio drops, writing prompts, and body alchemy practice. I will not go into too much detail right now because you will experience it in the challenge, in inside Become a Visionary. But there is There is a reason behind that. So the audio drops will be like a perspective shift or a little bit of context to why we're doing what we're doing. The mind wants to know why. So I understand your curiosity around why we're doing this. But it's going to be short. I'm going to cap it at 10 minutes, maybe then shorter, depends on the module. It will come from the heart. It will be recorded closer to the time. I haven't pre recorded it because I'm also going to be tuning to the energy of the collective inside of it. And that's why it's important that you're going to be feedbacking, not asking questions. We talk about that later, but feedbacking, sharing in the community portal so I can feel into what is going on. So then I can speak to it in my audio transmissions, or maybe I can tweak some writing prompts for you in later days. This is a co-creation process. I have a map, but I may be tweaking the map. That is what I do as a coach, and that is why it's so fucking exciting to do this live together with all of you. Writing prompts, again, quickly, journaling, very quickly, journaling to me, it's another way of tapping into your higher intelligence of the unfiltered, uncensored, unwounded part of you that really knows how to speak what she or he wants. So the way I'm going to be structuring the prompts will be exciting, will be an invitation to open to write the way maybe you're not writing. I don't know how you're writing, perhaps you're already doing it, but think about it more like a stream of consciousness, like letting go, like tapping into something, allowing something else to move your hand. It gets better with practice, like everything else, but even just the way I guide you in those prompts will already help you answer them in that way, exactly the way that I want you to, because it is a structure that you follow. And that's that. That is that for the structure. How we play. Now, I don't want to go too long from this one. Let me just move myself here so I can see the word empowerment. But in a nutshell, this is so simple, but it's so profound that I can't even. I can't even. I have been on a journey of bettering myself, of healing, of evolving for the last 5 years since that day of my surgery. And I tell you that this journey, this little thing that I presented here for you, is non negotiable on your road to empowerment. If you're missing any of these that you can find on this little diagram or whatever you can call it, you are going to have a harder journey than if you have them and apply them. Let me explain. We are starting at acceptance and curiosity. I'm going to bring them together as one because actually, when you bring curiosity, the acceptance is easier to access as well. So you can remember them in clusters. What does that mean? What do I mean by that? Even in the journey that I'm going to be taking you on, there might be questions to which you want like your answers. Maybe you will discover something about yourself that you don't like. That you're going to be like, fuck, I need to work on that. I thought I worked on that. See how this voice already is going to be beep, 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 and the mind's going to follow. No. Because once you bring in curiosity and acceptance, this doesn't have a way to win. Because all of a sudden you're like, oh, this is an interesting part of myself I didn't know. Let me explore what else is there or what is it connected to? Because everything is connected actually. So you just do that. You just bring in curiosity that comes with acceptance. And all of a sudden, a good chunk of that overthinking just goes away, doesn't have a place anymore. That's that. It's that simple. It is that simple. I'm not joking. It takes practice to get there, and we will be practicing it. Then, a lot of clients, a lot of people I talk to, oh, I just don't know how to hold myself accountable. I don't know how to stay consistent, blah, blah, blah. Accountability, paired with responsibility. You are responsible for your life. You know this. You know no one is not coming to save you. You know you don't want to be saved, actually, if you think about it. But when it's time to act and stay consistent, then all of a sudden you're like, oh, but no one is holding me accountable. And you have those excuses. But once you think about responsibility as a privilege that it is, not a crutch, then it is easier to hold yourself accountable. Because if you are the problem, you are the solution. If you are the creator of your reality, then everything that you do every single day matters. So why would you be outsourcing your power and waiting for someone else to change something so that you can change something in your life when you know this is your own responsibility? I could spend here an hour talking about that, but it's that simple. As soon as you, with curiosity, acceptance, and empowerment, start thinking that, oh, this is my responsibility, how cool, how wonderful that I can change this, whatever it is, however big the problem may seem, you have the power to change it. So that's a responsibility, but that's a cool responsibility because you don't need to wait for anything or anyone to move things for you. The universe doesn't need to send you a sign. The universe doesn't need to rearrange anything. No one needs to pop in on your path. You just need to make a decision that I am responsible for my own life and I will do everything that I can to do this. And I will fucking come in there with curiosity and acceptance to make my journey much easier. Please trust me on that one. I've been making my journey much harder because I wasn't putting those in. And then what we all forget because it's so serious to work on our dream lives, to build our businesses, to start being the voice of the fucking country or whatever it is, writing a book, whatever your dreams are, even having a healthier relationship, you forget to enjoy it. You forget that this is a fun activity, that this is exciting. We forget that joy because the responsibility seems heavy. But again, we are the ones that are making it heavy. We are the ones that are deciding that, oh, this is just so hard. And it is okay. It is human to have emotions, to have a certain feeling about it. I'm not here to tell you, do not feel your feelings. I'm here to tell you the joy is there when you guessed it, accept, stay curious, take responsibility, hold yourself accountable. All of a sudden, ooh, I get to do this. Oh my God, it didn't work out, but how much data have I gathered? Ooh, joyful it is. And joy you compare with presence as well. Why? Because there's always so much that you can be excited about in the present moment. If you're not in a present moment, that you're probably overthinking too much about the future, or you are you're worrying too much about the future or overthinking too much about the past, or the other way around, however it goes. You're staying either too much here, either too much there, never enough here in the present moment. It is good to zoom out, think about the future, not negotiate, remember the past, take lessons from the past. That's when we zoom out. There's time for it, but we don't stay there. We stay in the present. We only zoom out when we need to check. Are we aligned? Are we on track? Are we doing the thing that is the thing that we are doing still the thing that we want to be doing? Because that may change. You zoom out, you check in, and then you zoom in to the present moment, to the joy of the present moment. And when you have all of those components simultaneously, they happen just like that, you have consistency. You have the missing ingredient, what I would guess is stopping you from building something that you want because you don't trust yourself to be consistent with it. You don't trust yourself to keep going when things are not going right or the way you want them to. And then magical things happen when you start being consistent on your dreams. All of a sudden, you have empowered yourself. You don't need people to tell you that you are fantastic. You can tell yourself that you are fantastic. This is the magic diagram. Please take a screenshot. Please share with anyone. Tell me your mind is blown because my mind is blown. When I put it that way, I was like, I can't believe this was so simple. And it took me 5 years of very tumultuous roller fucking coaster journey to realize that the solution was actually not that complex. So that's how we play. That's what you're going to be returning over and over. That's what you're going to be like, oh, I'm not enjoying this exercise. Ooh, maybe I'm overthinking too much. Ooh, maybe I'm not curious. Ooh, maybe I've put some condition on myself. Maybe I'm not accepting that this is not where I want to be just yet. And I'm creating that friction. I'll talk about all those things more as we go in the modules, but this is the secret sauce. This is the secret sauce, guys. Tell me what you think. All right. Rules of the game. This is how we play, but we all want to have some rules for ourselves. Rule number one, you're gonna have fun. We already tapped into that, already done that, discussed that. Done is better than perfect. There's gonna be exercises. You're gonna listen, you're gonna write, and you're gonna move your body. Three things per module. Six modules over 2 weeks. You have 48 hours to complete a module. It is okay if you don't complete it on time. You can binge two modules in one day if you're behind. Like, I don't care how quickly you do it. I care that you do it. I care that you show up for yourself. Ideally, you do something every day because now we're opening the gates to this experience, right? So you've opened the door into your own empowerment, into your new ways of relating to yourself. So have fun. Do imperfectly. Don't worry about is it done correctly. There's no right or wrong here. And then you go and you share and you celebrate yourself, celebrate others, tell me what you liked, tell me what you didn't like if you want, because that's probably just pointing into the wounds or, it's not about me and the exercise. It's all about you and what is this bringing into the surface. And one big rule as well that I have in here, and I took it from my mentor and other challenge I was doing with her, is no questions. What does that mean? I am here as a coach, as a guide, as a mentor, but I'm not here for coaching. Everything is prepared for you. Everything's going to be explained. I will be guiding you. I won't leave you behind. I won't trigger you and leave you with it. Do you know what I mean? Like, this isn't a triggering thing. This is things going to be popping up, but also you know how to handle yourself. It's all about instilling that trust, rebuilding the trust with yourself, showing up for yourself, and understanding that even if you do something imperfectly or halfway through or whatever it is, that it's still done is better than perfect. And you don't need to ask me to explain this for you, because whenever you will come to me to explain you the purpose of exercise, you're actually blocking your own guidance. You're telling yourself, I don't know, Maggie needs to explain this to me. I do not. And I guarantee you that the way it's structured is super clear. Anyone will know. And you all will have different experiences because it is your own life you're going to be filtering through, you're going to be tapping into. So my answers, my aha moments, my what's connected with what will be different to you. And that's another magical thing about it. That same structure will bring different results, but it's all towards empowerment. It's all towards having that trust and that connection with your body so you can go and build the life that you actually desire. That's almost it for today's call for the hype you up about the container. I want you to make a promise to yourself, and I want you to make a promise that is stretchy. That is a promise that you feel like maybe it's going to be a little bit uncomfortable to meet it. It's going to require me to show up for myself a little bit more. So it's not like, oh, I'll do everything. Like, make a bigger promise. Share it with the group, share it with me, or just write it down so that you can hold yourself accountable, so that you can excite yourself about the possibility of actually meeting that promise over and over consistently for 2 weeks. Because you know what happens after 2 weeks of doing it? You are almost, well, it's not a habit. They say 21 days, but it is practiced long enough to create new pathways. Your brain's going to be relating. Your body is going to remember, oh, she's doing it that way. Because the more you do it, the more natural it becomes. Everything becomes a second nature only after we have practiced it over and over. I had that in Muay Thai again. My martial arts training is fantastic for this. Don't dismiss body alchemy. I've been doing this for a long time before it actually clicked on what actually this is doing to me. One, I didn't know what's going on, and two, I also didn't believe that I can have this power. So make a promise, make a stretchy promise, get yourself excited, let me know, invite a friend, do this with a bestie or whatnot if that's going to be better for you. But make a promise. And I want it to be stretchy promise. I want it to be something really empowering that maybe you still have a little bit of a I don't know how to say it. It's okay. We'll work on this. In 2 weeks, I'll promise you, you'll have a little bit better connection with that voice, with that heart, with that body, and with that inner critic here if you follow the steps outlined in this challenge. And that's all from me. Jump in, and I'll see you on the inside.